Welcome to episode 4 of the Two Brothers from Two Mothers podcast and show. Silent but deadly, not that again. I'm Alex.
And I'm Kevin. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Glad to be back home in my original little spot here and can comfortably sit and speak much better where I was, but it's for a good cause. So you're going to see me in two different locations, varying from show to show, week to week, but we'll get it done.
Yeah, it's whatever, do what you got
Yep.
to do.
Yep. So I see you're getting a hell of a snowstorm. Not really substantial snowstorm. Obviously, we've been through worse, but I'm just watching the cam right here, and it's coming down.
Dude, it's like a blizzard sometimes.
It must be very nipply. You got to watch those milk duds, man.
Especially the chocolate ones.
I know. Yeah. What do you think on this explosion of gas prices, man?
Not surprising.
No, not at all. I'm not surprised either, but $6 here, bro.
$6 there, 4.5 depending on where you go here.
Mm.
BJ's for well, let's see, I filled up. Oh, when did I fill up? Thursday. I filled up Thursday 4.26.
Mm-hmm.
Drove by again last night, 4.36.
Here it went from 440 to 520 in the space of 10 minutes.
Now here's my question.
Yes. Now you're in my wheelhouse, but yeah.
Oh yeah, this is something that's always bothered me is gas station itself buys the gas at let's say easy money, 4.30 a gallon.
Yeah.
They pump the gas into their which we'll call it for us to pump into our car.
Yep.
How is it that they can go back? They got to refill it eventually. Let's say later that day they refill it. Now it's 4.50.
Right.
That gas is still in there that they bought at 4.30.
You're right.
Has been refilled. Now you change the price to 4.50. Now the gas that they paid for at 4.30 or whatever they
isn't now 20 cents.
Whatever what they were charging 4.30 for is now being charged 20 cents more because the new gas that went in is at 4.50. How can they charge 20 cents more for gas they previously bought for a cheaper price?
Good observation. Good point.
How do you do that? The only way you can logically do that
if the tank is empty.
Yep. And they don't do that.
Well, naturally, you never want your tanks to run dry, so there's always going to be a little bit of padding. Okay.
Right, but we know there's no padding like that low. There's no way.
No, it's not. It's nothing more than what we call a margin play, right? So you average out your 430 and 450, which will average out to 440, right? Just again, and so you sell it, let's say 460. So now you're making 20 cents on that tank of that giant tank of fuel.
Right.
Now, my thing is that ask yourself the question. To all you, I have to say it, libtards out there. Ask yourself this question. Under Orange Man.
Nacho Dorito?
Was it so bad? $2, $1.90, $1.80. Never had a problem. We were flowing the pipeline, flowing this, flowing that. Everything was going good. Jobs were plentiful. Nobody was struggling. It was 4 years.
Dude, when gas is over triple in some places in less than 2 years, there's a problem.
Well, of course, we have the charter in the White House or in the White House.
I know. Why am I here?
Yeah, but he's doing
Oh, a
such a
butterfly.
okay. There are people so quote unquote delusional who are so blinded that said that because President Trump aligned himself with Russia, that now that Biden stripped that away, supposedly, which we know is not the case, they're still purchasing Russian oil, by the way. That he's doing so great, but yet we're paying $6 a gallon, and people are struggling to get by. I mean, really
Dude,
struggling to get by.
$6 a gallon. I'm going grocery shopping and I can't even buy, forget like the regular, the food for dinner. By the time I'm done getting stuff like milk, chocolate syrup, this, that, the other thing, I'm already at like $50 or $60.
I know.
Throwing chicken, pork chops, steak, whatever. It's another $50, $60
$120 for what a couple days worth.
for 4 people for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, you remember back in the '80s, $100, no problem. We'll get you through a week or two.
$100, $80 got you a family of 4 for a
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
100 would have got you 2 weeks.
Now, there's a couple of factors at play. Some we can attribute to this administration, some we can't. So I'm gonna be equal here and call it where it's supposed to be. Now, what you people in the research community do realize, and what you people who haven't researched anything don't realize, is that the old economic system is dying. The fiat dollar is dying. Have to inflate it out, have to bring it to zero. So this is part of the process. So we got to go through a little bit of pain. Underneath the surface is a new system coming into place with a new dollar. Okay. Gold backed, none of this backed by the faith and hope of the government. No. Backed by metals, like it used to be.
Right.
So, in order to bring in the new system, the old system has to die. So this is part of that cleansing process. But you notice during those 4 years, they tried to raise the interest rates and they quickly shot them down.
Yep.
Now, what people don't realize in the study of basic economic theory is that when interest rates are kept artificially down, it leads to hyperinflation, which is what we're experiencing right now today. So this is not a surprise to me from that standpoint that the hyperinflation is starting. Now, that's a natural economic thing, has nothing to do with the administration. However, certain policies of this administration have caused exasperations. So that's where the blame lies with that aspect of it. However, the natural cycle is a natural cycle. Until economic rules change, this is how it is. Okay. My parents went through it in the Carter era, went through paying 19% on their first mortgage in the 70s. Sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but we made it,
Right.
But that's how you control inflation, is you raise the rates through the freaking roof. Not saying that's going to happen now. We don't know with this new system, with the new laws come into play, how things are going to work out, but things are going to be good. So be patient, be calm. I know it's going to be tough. You'll have to feel a little bit of pain, but please wake up, do some homework, do some research, and adjust accordingly. I certainly have. And I'll be honest
Here's
with
the
you.
thing too, is okay, yeah, there's a pain everywhere that you're paying, gas, food, everything. But how many people are not adjusting their way of life to adapt?
I've had to. Common sense.
I
Unless you're
mean,
willing.
that's why I don't get is like there's plenty of people. I can't even do this. I can't do that. Blah 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 blah. It's like, so are you changing anything, or are you just going the way you're, status quo? I don't know how you can afford to do this. I don't know how you can afford to do that. Blah 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 blah. Because I don't do. You have to adapt.
Yeah, and much like we've had that long spiel several years ago. Remember the little kick in the patootie I gave you? You have
Yeah.
to adjust for things in order to achieve the bigger goal. And if that means taking some sacrifices and understanding, in your case, it was a money flow issue. Not going to get into specifics about it, but it was a money flow issue. And once we figured it out, things got adjusted. And isn't life getting a little easier?
That was almost easier about 2 months afterwards. Yeah.
Sure. You just got to sit down and look at the big picture. And that's what these people fail to realize is you got to look at the big picture. Like I watch this air conditioning guy, and he always says, you got to have the big picture diagnosis. You got to look at the whole system, not just a piece of it, in order to see what's actually going on. So
Right.
when you realize that we live in a system, okay, it is a system, right? You got inputs and outputs. What we do is an input, what we get out of it is an output, right?
Of course.
Look at it, that holistic aspect. You can see that you need to look at to see the big picture on what's going on to get an idea of how to adapt to things in life because things change all the time. And if you're not adaptable enough to be able to look, oh, yeah, well, gas is going up. So what do we do? Well, we have to go here. Why don't we consolidate our trips? Go out once a week if we can. Like in my parents' case that are retired, we go out once a week and they do all their trips on one day.
Yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, you adapt.
Yeah,
What are
or you
what
get
are you
left
gonna do?
behind.
Yeah.
So before we get too far into it,
Yes.
we'll go with the usual spiel of the email, which is twobrotherspod@gmail.com. Please email us there. Leave questions, comments, criticisms, respectfully if they're bad. um, Hoping to hear from somebody at some point. Got lots of viewers watching. Thank you all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. This is for you guys. We're doing
Yeah,
this for you. We're sharing our lives with you, and
thoughts, ideas, all that good stuff. We're doing
yep,
what we can to provide some entertainment, and
we're just two average dudes. I mean, we're
no,
nothing special,
it's about trying to do something different for ourselves,
and to inspire others as well.
and to hopefully have someone watch and be like, okay, wait a minute, these two guys can do it. Why
Why
can't
can't
I?
Why can't I? Yeah, you
Hmm.
know, I
Maybe I should email them and pick their brain and get more detail than what I saw in the first video of, okay, so Kevin was naggingly just not able to sleep that night.
hmm,
Why? What's the actual, you know, what was behind it?
what was the
What is
motivator?
behind it? What's driving it? What's motivating it?
Yeah,
And it's,
here I am. I am sitting here on
dude,
this end.
it's 12-hour days and it's
You know,
torture.
this is what I always tell people. And I am going to use explicit language, by the way, in this scenario. So parents out there, plug your kiddies' ears. But if life ain't going your way and you're frustrated, how you going to fix that shit? You gotta look at alternates. And when you brought the thing up to me, I was dying to get back on the show thing again with you.
Mm. Dude, it's,
I just was waiting for the technology, to be honest with you, to come to an easy to use, simple system that we can quickly just work and not have to worry
yeah,
about
can you
it.
imagine if we had to do this overlay, the ticker streaming, the logo, which I don't know. Yeah, I got to actually upload the new logo that we have, but Imagine if we had to actually code all that.
There is software that can do it, but it doesn't perform as good as this technology. And I'm grateful for StreamYard. I really am. And
Right. It's just the
anybody
fact that
looking to
it's
get
so
out there,
easy.
start with the free version, experiment with it, see if it meets your needs. There's other ones out there. Okay.
Oh
But
yeah, it's we're not promoting StreamYard. We're not getting paid from
no,
them for anything.
no, we're not getting paid, but I just
We're
want
just saying,
I want
speaking to their ease of their easiness of use.
getting up and running. Yeah,
It's easy.
simplicity.
It took us what, half an hour at the most.
Yeah, and definitely we're not sponsored, but I personally would like to say a big thank you to the team for making a very accessible product for us.
Oh hell yeah!
So, but anybody out there has any concerns, questions about getting started, we'll give you some tips of what we've learned along the way, so it can make your life a little easier. But the thing is that you just got to have that spark to say, hey, the 9 to 5, or in your case, the 12 hours, ain't cutting it anymore.
Dude, there's how I can word it without. People in general. Oh, my life sucks. I wish I could do that. I
So,
wish I could do that. Okay,
so what the
I
fuck are
was
you gonna
this.
do about it?
Okay. Well, here's the thing. We were at the same place. What, 24 years ago? What can we do? You had a friend that built computers. If he can do it, why can't we? We got into it.
Oh,
We tried. But
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
first thing we tried, and it was
a learning experience.
a successful failure
Yes.
because we did have two or three people before we went official that it was, oh man, this could work.
But it's okay. It's a teachable moment. It didn't cost us much. We didn't.
No, it cost nothing almost. I mean, we
So
already had everything we needed just because it was our own stuff.
yeah,
I mean, everything we had was already, we already had it because we were doing it for ourselves.
yep.
So it's not like we went out and spent $500-$600 buying this, buy that, buy this, buy. We had everything. It was already there, so it was cheap to do. Just unfortunately, that computer. Oh God. But
Well, as with everything, the industry changes. So it is what it is. I mean, but the thing is we learned some things, and we learned what not to do and what to do. And
right, and now you
everything,
fast forward to what, 2017?
yeah.
We did the first one, and
Mm-hmm.
I went back probably earlier this week just for the hell of it, compared to the viewership of the first video of each of this one and the other show.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, I mean, forget the fact that it's on YouTube, doesn't matter. That one only has like 15 views
Right.
or 16. And the first video for our podcast, we hit 15 in like, what, by that Saturday night.
Yeah.
And now that first video is now up to 54 or 55. But that's just the view count that shows on the thing when you click the video.
Right. When you go
I
into
believe the actual count is actually higher.
it is. I don't understand the formula. I have to do research into that, but it is.
Right, because I know a few times I've, like the one that we recorded last week, I played that one in my pocket at work like 4 or 5 times. and just let it go. Just because it's views, it doesn't matter who it comes from. You know?
Well, remember, you got to remember there is an algorithm.
Right.
And it knows the IP, so if it matches, it doesn't count as far as revenue or earnings are concerned.
Ah, that's true.
So just remember that, But it's
Yeah.
okay,
But
the
it's still
point
gotta help
is,
somehow.
the point is just to make people aware.
But yeah, back to the original point is, I wish. Why not? Take a bet on yourself and try something.
You got to have confidence in yourself. We were always listening to others and saying, "Well, you can't, you can't, you can't." It gets to you. It gets to you. You begin to question yourself. And I know a lot of you out there probably are in the same boat and saying, well, maybe I can't. All the people say I can't. You just got to try. And you know what? If you fail, it's okay. You
It
got to get
is,
up, dust yourself off.
the cliche. It's worse to. It's better to try and fail than not try at all.
Yeah, because if you didn't try, how would you know your potential?
Exactly.
And then how would you know what to adjust on? We've tried. This is their second run at doing a show.
So,
so far so good. I'm very happy and very proud of what we're doing, and I'm very proud of our viewership. I love you all, and we want you to be part of our family.
Yeah. Yeah, please share, comment, subscribe, like, whatever.
Be involved.
Be involved. Get involved.
We want to start a little community of, maybe not so little, but eventually grow. But just start a community of people being people. There's nothing to be fake about. There's no persona to put on the air. It's just us being us. Yeah. Share your experiences. Get it out there. Share your story. Maybe you can inspire and help somebody to, I could do that. Because you guys know my story by now, ones who watched the previous episodes of all the
why you can't do it.
Problems I went through,
and we never really scratched the surface that much either that night either. So there's like way more to it than just what we talked about.
There's a lot more to it, but didn't want to get too deep, obviously, on that episode. But I wanted to share at least.
But we should have
that story.
But that was already going at 1:34, anyways. But
yeah, we can.
Yeah, so
we can expound on it further if viewers would like to hear more of that.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get back to it.
I'm an open book. Ask away. If you have any specific questions, ask away. I'm here to share with you.
And join our Facebook group.
Yeah.
2 brothers and 2 mothers. You can even, you could ask us in there too. It doesn't even have to be the email. Join the group. Like, hey, I'm curious as to why, how, what. This is what I want to do. Do you have any ideas, any advice?
Sure.
It'll help.
Or if you want to get your feet wet, pop on the show with us. See how you feel in front of a camera.
Yeah, even better.
Listen, I used to be the same guy who couldn't stand hearing his voice. Hated hearing my recorded voice.
I still hate hearing my voice, but you know what? I have to listen to it. I gotta watch these things afterwards to see.
Yeah.
And hear. And that first one, oh God, I sound like a robot.
Because you can.
Because that's what I had to do. I had to read off of a thing of notes because I wanted to make sure to give thanks to Rodolfo for everything. But that's what I've heard. It's the first one. Nerves.
Why do you think we don't have a script? Yeah. We don't need a script. I got your script right here.
I'll speak you.
But regardless of that point, we have to always keep improving, keep going. And that goes with anything in life, right? And again, going back to the economics, you got to be adaptable, you got to be flexible, you got to be willing to move, you got to be willing to adjust, you got to be willing to make life how you want it, not how it is dictated to you.
Right.
That's what it's about at the end of the day. It's what are
That.
yeah, that too. That too. Never trust the fart. Exactly.
No, still, you still don't want to trust them. See, this is what I mean. It's unscripted, whatever. I wanted to edit it, not.
Yeah, we had something over there, didn't we? But again, if you guys are looking to start up, come on board, hop on with us. We're all family.
Oh, most definitely. So yeah, onto the topic: silent but deadly.
Yes.
Definitely not what people are thinking.
No, nothing to do with flatulence this week.
Nah, it's a question of leadership styles,
Okay.
pros and cons of each.
I'm a mixed bag in the sense that I will be vocal when the situation requires it.
Oh my god, that thing is huge. That's what she said.
You long donged it, didn't you? Yeah.
Guess I'll keep that as a ticker. No, but hey, like at work, I don't really. I don't want to say I'm outgoing because I am, but it's not very vocal.
Right. You're standard conversable man. You talk about topics.
Yeah, more. I'm not even a leader, so I'm not even going to say it like that. But yeah, when it comes to certain stuff, no, why do you do it this way? This is just the way it's better.
Yeah.
Oh, but I do it this way. Oh, your way kind of sucks.
It's less efficient. Yeah.
It's less efficient. You make more
you
mistakes.
yeah, you learn as you go, right? As far as making things a little bit easier for yourself.
Yeah, there's that's yeah. Anyways, I don't know. To me, just hearing someone blah 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 blah, I tune the message out.
Kind of makes you go from
Well, that gets into a whole other motivational subject.
this is how I handle it. And I know some people are going to disagree who know me. And I don't care. But if somebody doesn't know something, I'll teach you the whole process from A to Z that I know. And even through that teaching process, I could pick out some things that I either don't know or I'm wrong in, and I'll correct that as I go.
Right.
But if I have to repeat myself over and over and over again, it's like, am I getting through to you? So then I have to pipe up. I don't like to.
Dude, if I gotta pipe up about it, if I complain about something, I'll just keep it at work as an example. As an inspector packer, there was nothing I couldn't do. It was, to a 90% certainty, there was no job I couldn't be on that I didn't know how to do.
Right.
If I was behind, it was just Kevin being Kevin. The other 10%, when I'm in an actual like hysterical mode, there's something fucked up. There was one job I was on where there's like 6 people on the job. One was inside, which ended up being me, and the other 5 outside. Fast machine, bottle it. Just
is this a clean room story?
oh yeah,
Oh, that clean room.
yeah, poor clean room. I freaking decimated it. But the bottles come down the conveyor, blah 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 blah. They go into a plastic tray. The tray goes outside. They take it, pack the bottles outside, send the tray back in, and it's and the specific job is like 6 bottles into one box, 6 of those or 4 of those into another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there on the inside and I'm watching from inside, and I'm sending out 24, and they're packing partials in, and they're waiting. They got another half a box, and I'm like, or like an odd number. Bang bang on how many bottles do you need to make a full box? Why? How many bottles do you need to make a full box? Well, we need like 12. I sent 12 out. Well, what's the difference? Why are you sending out 12? You'll see in a minute. Send out 48 the next time. Oh, now you sent out 12, now you're sending out 48? Yeah, but now you're not making a new box in the middle of packing what I sent you. Wasting time. Oh. So, okay. So, another half hour goes by. Machines run like garbage. Setup guys are busy, whatever. No, I'm not packing anything. Everything's going to hell. There's 5 people sitting out there staring. Is everything okay in there? No, it's all. I need someone to come in and help me. Oh, well, we can go get the setup guys. I'm like, I've already done that. I need some. Not a damn person came in. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, we're on a 20 case per hour job. Nothing is coming out. You think that's normal?
Mm. So
I end up, break time comes. I end up going outside. I'm done in there the rest of the day. Next person goes in. Oh, I'm having trouble. Can you come in and help? No. What do you mean no? Like I was? Remember like an hour ago when I said I needed help? And you all just sit there and looked at and laughed? Nope. I'm the account supervisor. Go ahead. I don't care. Supervisor comes out. So I hear you guys are going in and helping out. I said, oh, you mean like what's done to me? Oh, I didn't know that. I looked at the supervisor. I'm like, if I'm telling someone, verbally, vocally, verbally telling someone I need help or something's wrong, that's a serious issue. It's not just me being me. I don't ask for help. I don't want it. Why? Because whoever's going to help me is going to do it a different way and fuck it up.
Yeah, you have your own rhythm, your own technique. Yep.
There's one or two other people still there who I could completely and utterly 100% unquestionably trust that if I was to leave that machine on the outside from packing, that person could go over there and not fuck it up because they do it the same exact way I do.
See?
I was completely oblivious. It was just a free conversation one time. I was talking to someone. I'm like, when you put the label on, do you put it on before, blah, blah, blah. I only pre-label box unless I know I'm going to pack it up. I'm like, oh, okay, there's one. I said, do you put the label on facing you? Yeah, so how come? Because if it's facing the other way, I'm not going to remember if I have a label on the box, and it's going to get double labeled. There's two things we have in common. And it was just one thing after another after another. It's like, holy shit, someone actually does it the logical way.
There's a personal common sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the build up to this is someone came over and tried to help me one time. I said, "Oh, do you need help?" I said, "Yeah, but I'm going to say no because you don't do it the way I do." Well, I'm not going to do it the way you do. I have my own way of packing. I'm not going to. No.
See,
You're going to help me. You're going to do it my way because you're going to fuck me up. Oh, I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. First and last time. What's the very first thing that person does? They put the box on the freaking boxing, whatchamacallit. They put the label on the box. Didn't say nothing to me. Label on the front side. I didn't know it was on there. Here's me. Slap another label on. Send it through. Put the damn box on. Didn't even know it had another label on there. Get to the end of the pallet. It's all full. Why the hell's it off by one? Start digging through. Oh, we found the problem. There's a double label box. That's kind of odd for someone like you to do that. But like, oh no, 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 no. That wasn't me. How can you say that how can you certainly say that? Because I don't double label boxes.
You have a very specific logical order and what works for you. Okay?
Exactly.
People have, and here's the thing. In life, this is not just a work thing, you have to communicate. If you want something done a certain way, you have to communicate.
What more do I need to say then? Do you need help? Yeah. Okay, well, okay. If you're going to help me, you got to do it my way. Well, that's not the way if it's not my way, get the hell out of here.
See, what I would have done in that case, I'd be like, all right, how do you want
me to do?
How do you want it done? What do you need me to do? I want it done this way, this way, this way. Can you just watch me and make sure I'm doing it right? How you want it so we can work it as efficiently as possible to get the job done.
But on the other hand, if I wasn't jumping on someone's job, I'd see how I could already pick up how they're doing it and do it their way. That's like annoying as hell. But it's they're a machine or whatever. But yeah. So as far as like at work at least asking for help, I ain't doing it. Well, don't want it. Don't need it. I'd rather suffer.
There are pros and cons to that. Obviously, you know it, and I know it. The pro is that you work in the style that suits you best. The con is that when you're in trouble, you're closing off the potential for extra hands and extra eyes, which can come in handy, much like when we're building a computer. We know our rhythm. I taught you a certain way to do it. You do it that way. So that way I know when it comes to troubleshooting a problem, I can backtrack. But it's an extra.
Unless it's a power connector to a floppy drive.
Yeah, missing shit. But
fuck. What time is it? Ooh, 7:30. Circuit City's still open.
Brandon got another one. Was up and running in an hour.
Yep.
We got it to that point. Again, learning experience, right? How rhythm works, and so I double check you. You double check me when it comes to that kind of stuff. And the same thing applies into the work environment. But people work. They try to push this whole thing on teamwork. If you're not on the same page, it ain't gonna work.
Teamwork is fine. Problem is when you get that first rotten apple. So and so didn't help me, so I'm not going to help them. So now the other person is, and it spreads.
So as a manager now, how would I would delegate and just say, hey guys, there's no option. Either you cooperate or you're out of here. That's it. I'm not playing games.
If I was in a supervisor position, me personally, I probably wouldn't last long. Number one, because I would not be in the office all day.
Would you be the Paul Tuttle of senior of analogy if that were the case?
Well, if I was in the position to hire and fire people, that place would need about 35, 40 more people.
Yeah.
Strictly based off of stuff I see as a person who walks around as a material handler, that's just
Because people, and I see it here too, the stereotypes you guys hear about California, there's some truth to them. I mean, there are some people with really good work ethics here too who really work hard and give it their best. And for those people, I praise you. I commend you all the time when I go see somebody doing a good job. Proud of your work today. And I mean it. And I say it to them all the time. You know,
right.
you
But
got people who are
there was a time where if I walked more than 3 machines away to help somebody,
mm-hmm.
get back to your machine. What if something happened to it? It's right here. What's going to happen? I'm 40 feet away from it. What's going to happen? You abandon your machine. It would end up in a freaking instant trip to the supervisor's office trying to explain why you walked away. Nowadays, you can walk across to the side of the plant. They don't give a damn. People on their cell phones.
I would strip that shit right away. You're here to do a job. Unless it's a family emergency and you let me know. I need my phone on me. Got a sick kid. I may have to leave early. No problem.
Dude, my boss knows. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I don't care if you have your phone in your pocket. I understand why. Get a phone call. Please do not be on the floor. Can't protect you. But you know why? Yes, I know why you need your phone. I'm not saying you can't have it on the floor or in your pocket. La 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 la. Don't want to know about it. So what do I do? Off the locker area, cafeteria, whatever. I ain't getting caught on the floor with that phone out.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I have enough respect for the man who has given me the permission to have it on me, even though I'm not supposed to, under the guise of just be somewhere, be in an authorized area to answer any phone calls.
That's fair. It's fair.
But when you have people on Facebook and other crap at the machine.
So many times I've seen you. I'm sure this was what I call a shitter post. So many times I've seen you post something and I would text you, "Are you home?" Because I see you on, right?
Oh yeah, most of that's during break.
Didn't realize you're probably sitting on a throne trying to take a dump, and in the meantime you're flipping through.
No, it's all break time.
Well, that's your off company time. So yeah, have at it.
Exactly. And there's times I'm, legitimately taking a shit.
And you need some reading material.
Yeah. It's not like I'm in there abusing anything. It's just something to pass time while you're passing a stool.
And staining the stainless steel.
It's not like I'm going in the bathroom every 5 minutes and hiding to freaking do anything. That's stupid.
People that do.
But there's people that go in there and they freaking hide for 25, 30 minutes. Oh, hey, go to the bathroom. No, you didn't. You just went to the bathroom 10 minutes ago.
Now, if there's a medical issue, it should be brought up to management.
Dude, I've gone to work with freaking nausea, diarrhea. That doesn't stop me.
No, just get it done.
Yeah, so, back to your question of how I would, if I was in a supervisor or manager, it would be very, very, very firm.
That's how I am too, and it's
very, very fair as well.
Yeah, firm but fair. I'd be like, okay,
shit happens.
Shit happens. I understand. Maybe you don't understand how you were trained. Let's readdress it again. We'll do it again. If you don't get it after the fourth time, I think that's more than there's an issue. You can't do the job. Okay. But if we need to change our approach with that, because everybody's different. Okay. Everybody learns differently. I get that. So approaches and changes need to be done to certain protocols. I get that. But when you get this issue of people not wanting to help or just don't care, why are you wasting the company's time and the company's dollar?
Dude, I have heard people be asked to do whatever. This is what I've heard. And quote, fuck that fucking bullshit. I don't know who the fuck you think you are to make me think I'm gonna fucking do a damn thing while I'm here. Fuck that and fuck this. And that person's not getting fired? Question number 1. Was that person asked to do something unsafe? No. Question number 2. Was that person asked to do something
above their scope?
No. Was that person asked to do something that's going to put the image of the company at risk? Question number 3. Crap, I forgot what it was.
Think.
Was it oh God.
Was it something out of the person's wheelhouse, their duties, their skills?
No, it was a simple task. And that was what was said in response to being asked to do something.
Okay, no problem. I'll call the supervisor. See how quick your mind's going to change then when you get your ass handed to you.
I looked at the other person who was said that to, and I'm like, and that person's not getting fired? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You didn't ask that person to do something unsafe. You didn't ask that person to do something that's going to put anyone else in harm. And you didn't ask that, here's number 3. And you didn't ask that person to do something you wouldn't do. So, good thing I can't fire people. Oh, you can't do it? No, screw that. See ya.
Yeah, because there's going to be someone who's going to work harder and replace you. And that's it. I mean, the thing is that, guys, unless you're running your own shop, own business, shop, whatever. You're expendable. It is what it is, you know. Just because you're at a place for 20, 25 years, you have a rhythm, doesn't matter.
Exactly. But I just can't. I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it.
Like, for example, my mindset every week, we set a day and time to do these shows. My mind goes right to there and gets organized, ready to go. And we have to get my brain in the proper mode to do the show.
Right.
You told me this morning, oh, we're going to start at 11:30 your time.
Right.
Beautiful. 8:30 my time. Okay. Got myself
I think we
prepared.
actually started earlier, which works out better.
Yeah.
Because it gives us more time to actually go longer than what we wanted.
Yep. And so
yeah.
I just get in that mindset right away. Boom, boom, boom. That's my commitment from me to you. I'm sure that's your commitment from you to me, just to be ready and ready to rock and roll, think things through, strategize in your head. It doesn't have to be verbally between us, but know that we're in that mindset and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think I whipped the title up at this afternoon, right?
Yep.
When I was on break, I texted you something about the title of the show, and then, 10, 15 minutes before we started, that was okay. There's an idea of what I want to talk about, blah, blah, blah. We'll figure it out. And, we did. But, if you want to carry this over the sports world.
Yes, you can do that. Now, you're a hockey genius.
Jack Eichel, Jack, you piece of fucking shit.
Now,
Mom, let me say this now. I'm sorry I asked for his jersey for Christmas. That piece of fucking shit.
No, you guys don't know. Kevin's a hockey genius. I'm going to let him run with this. I've learned so much about the sport and got an appreciation from your expertise.
I got to do some freaking meditation before I start into this piece of crap. Entitled Selfish Prick.
Okay, elaborate, please.
That's from Boston, so that explains it all.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the year before he got drafted, it was a tank season between him and Connor McDavid.
Okay.
Edmonton won the draft. Lottery, they get a first choice. They took McDavid. We got, Sabres got Eichel. And from day one, I don't want to say day one, but they didn't really make him feel. He viewed himself as a consolation prize.
Okay.
As did the Sabres. So it's whatever. 7 years of seven years of a talented player. Selfish. If the stories and the rumors are true, he ran out coaches, he ran out other players. His goal celebrations were all about him. Selfish.
And at the time, you couldn't see it on the ice. You just didn't.
You see it. It's like, okay, he's 18, he's 19, he's young, he's still immature.
Yeah.
You get, there's always that benefit of the doubt for just about everybody. It's like, okay, 22, 23, 24 years old, losing season after losing season, losing game after losing game, post-game kind of interviews. Oh, blah, 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 it was this, it was that. It's like, dude, you're the one that coughed the puck up at the end of the game that cost us the game. You're blaming solely on somebody else, but never directly. I'm going to start going back and watching these post-game interviews with him when he was a Sabre and just dissect the shit out of it. So fast forward to their 50th anniversary, which I think was the same year that they shut the league down for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
in what was the hell is it, like February 2020?
Right.
Yeah. So they had their end of season press conference, and it was just awkward. I can't remember any details of it. It was just whatever. Fast forward, next season they start up. He doesn't look right. Oh, he's got a rib injury. They're making up injuries, all this other crap. Find out he has some like neck bullshit. I shouldn't say bullshit. Neck injury. All of a sudden, trade talks are rumors are just freaking spewing everywhere. Oh, he wants to be traded. Blah 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 blah. Come to find out, he wanted to be traded the year before. Whatever. Finally, bye bye, off to Vegas. The change in the demeanor of the team from the minute they got rid of fucking Ralph Kruger and took on Donna Granado without Jack. They didn't win right away, but damn, you saw a difference.
Mm.
Fast forward to the season. Trade talks now. It's not even rumor. It's he wants out. He's done. Blah 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 blah. They finally got Vegas trade for Eichel. The Sabres got Tuck, Krebs, and I think one or two other draft picks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a difference.
Mm.
Watching Alex Tuck, who was basically like the main centerpiece of it, along with Peyton Krebs, what has been refreshing. You watch that they'll score a goal if he's on the ice, or if he scores a goal when he's on the ice. Obviously, he's on the ice. Stupid. When he scores a goal, you don't see him run off to the side corner over there. He runs or skates into that mob of four other players to celebrate with them.
Sure.
He doesn't just coast somewhere and let them all come to him. The difference in the leadership, it's night and day. But so the game, let's say Saturday, a game Thursday night, Jack's first game back, pre-game interviews. Oh, there's no hard feelings, blah 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 blah. It's going to be an exciting night, blah 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 blah. Everything. Oh, he's handling it pretty well. Now I missed the beginning of the game because I was at work. No, why did I miss? Yeah. Anyway, I missed part of the game in the beginning because I was doing something. From what I heard, in the beginning of the game, he had like a little bag of smelling salts that's supposed to like waken you up a little bit at the beginning, whatever. Apparently, he dropped that. From what I heard on the After the Whistle podcast, which is in Buffalo with two former Sabre players,
right?
They ripped them apart big time. It's just it's laughable.
Mm.
But they ripped Jack apart, and they're making fun of him. Oh yeah, the pressure's probably getting to him because he knows he's on national television. All eyes are on him, and he's already dropped the little smelling salt bag. He's dropped that. They booed the hell out of him during the game. First goal from the Sabres, Peyton Krebs. Bam. Okay, that's cool, but that'd be pretty awesome if Tuck could score a goal just to shove it home. Fast forward to the game, Vegas ties it. Sabres take the lead. Vegas pulls the goalie. Come to a face-off. Good old Jack Boys in the face-off circle, gets kicked out. Goes to the blue line for the point. I can't remember if they won the face-off or not, but eventually the puck finds its way to Jack on the boards. And who outworks him for the puck? Alex Tuck. Takes the puck down, scores an empty net goal. Poetic.
It's interesting. I can bring it into my
Freaking
wheelhouse,
poetic.
which is my Giants. They've been playing like shit. We know this season was a wash. However, after plucking some of Buffalo's very fine coaching staff and management,
Well, you know what they say, Buffalo's just a farm team for the rest of the league they're in.
yep. The culture change already, from what I'm hearing, is amazing. And thing is that you want to talk about silent leadership. You got nobody better to look at than Eli.
Exactly.
Didn't make us think about nothing. Wasn't screaming, yelling. Just got shit done.
Right. And now the kicker of all this with Jack was the post-game interview, which I definitely recommend anyone who's gonna watch our video tonight, go on YouTube and just search for Jack Eichel post-game interview in Buffalo. It is the personification of everything that the Buffalo Sabre fan base has come to hate about him. Now, the pre-game interview, Jack, where he's all, whatchamacallit, nice and calm and civil, and he had his agent freaking feed him all the answers. Oh, if you're asked this is what you say. This is what you say to this question. He was spoon-fed, rehearsed, maybe. Not scripted, probably rehearsed.
Well, it could have been in his ear.
Possibly. But that post-game interview, that's where you get the real Jack. And the way he... That's the loudest I've heard you, Reno. They must have been booing me because I left and they brought me back. And, the fans this and the fans that. Nobody wants you back. In fact, I will pull up the YouTube video of it and you can just listen to the audio. Because it's a gold mine, dude. Just when you hear it, you'll hear exactly what I'm talking about. Come on. Why aren't you playing?
Just touch it. Touch it.
Touch it. Why isn't it playing?
Are you feeding StreamYard through that too?
Oh, yeah, it could be why.
All right. Let me do a screen share. I'll do it on my end here.
Well, I don't need StreamYard on this thing.
All right.
LegalZoom can help you set it up.
I don't know if it's going to be how it's going to come through.
Start an LLC, corporation, or nonprofit with LegalZoom.
Bring it a little closer to you.
Yeah, I will.
Cheers. There were a lot of boos, but maybe more than anything, the Sabres showed up in a big way. So there's Eichel. Before the game, he gets the video. A lot of boos, a lot of cheers. What would you expect? Anything else? But a couple minutes after that video, one of the guys in the Eichel trade, he shows up big time. Peyton Krebs, he scores the first goal of the night for the Sabres, his fourth of the year. Had to feel extra good against his former team. This one tied in the final minutes. Victor Olofsson, a gorgeous goal, an absolute snipe. He gives the Sabres the lead again. That makes it 2-1. In that poetic justice for the Sabres, Jack Eichel at the point. Alex Tuch takes it from him, goes the other way, scores the empty net goal. Unbelievable game, unbelievable atmosphere. The Sabres spoil Eichel's return. They win 3-1, and you will not believe what Eichel had to say.
There you go, guys. Pay attention.
Good thing it's over. Got through that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy it's over. Just move on.
Were you surprised at the level of intensity of the crowd? The booze?
That's about the loudest I've heard this place ever. Really, after it only took 7 years of me leaving for them to get into the game. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was mixed. It was a nice tribute, and there was plenty of people here that were supporting me, and there was plenty of people here that were booing me. So they must just be booing me because they wish I was still here. I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not the first guy to deal with it, so just move on. And it was a tough game. Give them credit; they played hard.
He's getting ripped to shreds.
Good.
This is the. I swear, people, guys, everyone, just type in Jack Eichel post-game interview with Vegas in Buffalo, whatever. You can't miss it. And just watch him. He's like this. He didn't know what to say, dude. He was lost.
It sounds like to me, based on your description, obviously
he is not a captain material. He'll never be a captain on any NHL team ever again.
Let me ask you a question. Not being stereotypical. Is he a Canuck?
No, he's a Boston boy.
I hear a little Canadian in his voice.
He's a spoiled little entitled Boston boy. Never had to face adversity in his life because somebody was always probably in his ear telling him that he was the best.
Oh, a.k.a. a snowflake.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that whole man, it's the loudest it's ever been. Bullshit, dude. Are you kidding me? Come on.
I won't be surprised if he gets booted out of the league in another couple years.
Dude, he ain't going to get kicked out of the league, but how long does a team like Vegas going to deal with that crap?
Not too many. Why do you think certain football players won't get a job? Even though as good as they are. They don't want to deal with their attitude.
Exactly. And if I'm somebody in Vegas right now and I'm seeing that, you bet your damn ass I got his ass in my office that next day.
Mm-hmm.
Or on that phone and be like, dude, look, you really need to check your emotions.
That shit's not a representation of who we are?
Nope. If he's going to be on my team, I would keep him away from every freaking post-game interview I possibly could.
Yep.
Because that there, kicked off a shitstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going to happen next time he comes back next season? It's going to be worse. If he's that, if as an athlete, if you're that bothered by fans and you get that rattled, you let them in your head that easy, there's no fixing that shit, dude.
No.
And the immaturity you heard in that interview is the same crap you heard from him at 18 years old.
So he hasn't grown up yet.
7 years. He's not going to.
His balls haven't dropped. Yeah.
He's not going to mature. That's the same crap, dude, for 7 years. The first 3 or 4, from 18 to 22, what was it? He's still young. Well, when you're losing a lot, what do you expect? Okay, free pass. If I was losing or in misery like that, I'd be frustrated too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now sit there and say that the fans turned on you. It's not the fact that you wanted to trade out of there. Who gives a shit? You handle it like crap. On the other hand, the Sabres handled it like crap. Not every player that leaves gets booed. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in the Giants realm. Players got traded. They come back to play. They get treated with open arms. But that's because they left on a good note.
And, there was, I remember the year Brian Campbell got traded to San Jose, and they were asking him in the interview afterwards, so, you know, how you feel about blah, 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 blah. You know, eventually you're going to come back to Buffalo. What do you want? He's like, I just don't want to get booed. Now, granted, he didn't request any trade. That was one of their first of many rebuild modes, dumping salary cap and all that garbage. But again, that's a person who played his heart out. And what's he worried about? I don't want to get booed when I come back. Never happened. Did Jack give the team his all when he was here? What the hell am I to say? But to blame on the fans? Come on, dude. What'd you expect?
I know. It's a cop-out.
Listen, if you want to be traded, fine. Until we can figure out who you're going to go to and for what, and find a team to agree to it, we need you to be out there playing your ass off. Well, if I'm not going to be here, why should I? Because I'm not going to trade your ass. I'll sit you on the bench.
I'm not going to pay you.
I will literally, if I was a coach, GM, I will literally dress your ass up and then tell my coach he does not see 1 second ice time. I will play a man short with him on the bench every single game till A, your contract expires, or B, you're going to show me that you want to honor up yourself, be a man, go out there and perform until I can figure out a trade for you. Oh, and guess what? If you're not going to go out there and play, you just killed your own trade value. You're going to sit for the next 4 or 5 years. You want this? This is what I need you to do for me.
Yep, it goes
I don't
both
give
ways.
a damn if you're never going to come back. You need to keep on trying to do what you can to help me while you're here before you go.
Exactly.
Now, granted, again, under this circumstance, he was injured with his neck thing. Apparently, there was a big dispute about how each side wanted to go about doing the rehab or surgery. He wanted surgery and some type of fusion or whatever replacement. The team wanted to do rehab and fusion or something like that, or it was the other way around. But so there was a dispute as how to treat it. But damn, to blame the fans, man, and
it's part of the game. That every player has to expect that heckling is part of the game.
dude, if you're getting paid millions to play a sport, if I had half that talent and I knew I would be the same person I am now, I'll go out there and play for half.
Yeah.
Well, how much you want to play for? I don't know. I'd be happy with like $500,000.
Yeah.
That's it, I guess. Oh man, it's just that whole interview. It's just a gold mine, man. There's gonna be so many memes that come off of that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I do sincerely suggest everyone just go find it and watch it. It's the whole.
Dude, I just had this thought. Because the owners of the Sabres are the same owners as the Bills. Get the whole
same
defensive,
owners of the Nighthawks and the same owners of the freaking Bandits.
get the defensive line. Okay, put skates on them, get them out there and have them pound them right on the freaking boards.
Dude, how many times have you and I joked? Find the biggest, fattest piece of shit you can find that can stand. push his ass out to the fucking goal, and just have him stand there.
Uh-huh.
What do I gotta do? Just stand there, fat ass. What about when we switch sides between periods? Just get your ass back to the bench and get to the other side of the ice afterwards. Dude, I'm telling you, I would find the widest person alive that could stand. And if I have to have 8 or 9 people on my team push that fat bastard onto the net 3 times a game, and all he has to do is just stand there. I mean, God, I'll even freaking pay someone to go out there and like spray the water bottle in his mouth so he doesn't have to exert any energy to freaking get a drink of water. Just stand there and cover like 99% of that net.
Yep.
There's no rules against it. Why not? Why the hell not?
And then instead of the padding, get a stainless steel chest plate.
You talk about coaches that innovate. That's what I would do.
Yeah, as long as you're within the rules.
What rule is there? What rules are there? There's no rule that says that the goaltender has to be, under a certain height, under a certain amount of weight. The only rules are regarding the padding. As long as the pads are in regulation, it's not my fault he weighs 800 pounds.
I feel sorry for the ice.
Not my fault. That's not fair. I've looked at the rule book. I know there's nothing about how much a player can weigh.
Huh?
I don't know.
Maybe you should.
But how many times have you and I joked about that, though? Just go find the biggest the fattest piece of crap you can find and roll his ass out to the net.
It'll solve a lot of problems.
What do I got to do, coach? Absolutely nothing. The most energy you have to exert is getting your gear on.
Yeah.
That's it.
But the thing
That's
is,
what I would do.
Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting to me how. I mean, look at how football devolved. I'm going to say devolved. We grew up in the 70s, 80s, even in the 90s, where a hit was a hit. Now?
Oh, yeah, dude, come on. Now you freaking graze your feet. Like, you graze the tip of your glove on that freaking edge of his face mask. Penalty. Roughing the passer. What? It wasn't even a finger. It was the tip of the glove.
All right. You remember when... you remember back in the 91 when the Giants beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. How sweet that was. Who was the quarterback for the Giants in that game? You remember?
Jeff Hostetler.
Yes. When Hostetler signed on with the Giants, Bill Parcells told Lawrence Taylor for his first snap, nail him. He had his face planted in the ground. And Parcells was laughing. And Taylor was laughing. And he said, listen, kid, you have to understand what this game is about. You can understand the intensity, the feeling. You're not hurt. That's great. Get back up and get to it again.
Right.
So those coaches at this current time, you're never going to see again. You're never going to see a Coughlin. You're never going to see a Parcells. No. Belichick is the last one holding on to that tree. He is. Because Belichick
but even he's very slowly starting to fall apart, though.
Yes.
It's the foundation's still decent, but there's cracks under the foundation that are gonna
show themselves more and more.
Show eventually. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But you're never gonna find we have to be a player's coach.
Mm-hmm.
No. You're paid big money to do a job. You're gonna do what the fuck I tell you to do, how I tell you to do it.
Dude, how often do players, coaches that win?
None.
Barely.
None.
Tony
Unless
Dungy.
you have these players that are so good that, yeah, you wanna embrace their talent. Yeah, if they're a born leader, embrace it. Sure. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Dude, look, I would say like the ultimate players coach in the NFL in recent times would be Tony Dungy.
Wonderful man. Wonderful, wonderful man.
Glad he won, but how long did it take?
Long time.
You got the best, one of the best quarterbacks in the world, and it sucks that he didn't win sooner. Then again, they had no defense.
That's true too.
So that's what it is. But
I still say defense wins championships. I don't give a shit. It's a quarterback league. No. Yes.
is it a quarterback league? Well, let's see. Who Denver versus Carolina? Who had the better defense? Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 defense versus number 1 offense in Carolina. Who won?
Denver.
Denver.
Defense wins championships still to this day.
Is Belichick the exception?
He's a defensive coach, mind you, though. Remember,
Right.
he was the Giants' defensive coordinator in
That's
'86
true.
and in '91. So he won 2 with them.
That's true.
Defense wins championships. I don't give a shit. Yes, you need a good quarterback. That's why Buffalo struggled for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Their coaching was a mess too. You need those 2 pillars. I'm good with that. But you also need a solid, well-rounded team, period, at all positions.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. That's a whole mess. That Sabres cycle. No,
Yeah.
it was a mess. It's been disinfected now, and you can see the rot. Just watch the interview. You see the rot.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
Well, let's look at selfishness. Mental health analysis and everything aside, let's look at the Antonio Brown scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at what a fool he looked like. I'm granted, if the guy has an issue, state it, help him out. They offered help to him. Help him,
Is the talent worth it?
No.
No.
The guy has issues that precede his talent. Eventually it's going to be to the point where we don't want to deal with you.
Probably already is at that point.
Nobody's going to hire him. I don't care how desperate they are.
I don't know. It feels like it's already that way with him anyway. So it's good luck.
I hate to say that about someone. You don't want anybody to go through that, but in the same token, you're much like I say, a married life, a team sport. They both are teamwork, and they both are. I always say this to everybody: when you're married or you're part of a team, you represent one another. You represent each other. You got to put your best foot forward every time, because you're a representation of your wife. Your wife is representative of you, because you're together. You're a team, right? You're both raising your kids. You're both running the house. You're both doing what you have to do. When you go out, you expect a certain standard of behavior from her, as best as she can do, and she expects a certain level of behavior out of you, best that you can do. If you do that, there's no issues. However, if you sit there and go off and spouting off and swearing at people, being disrespectful in the mall, whatever, ripping them, having it follow you like a freaking
Antonio
dog.
Brown.
Mm-hmm. Having it follow you like you're a dog, whatever. You think Andrew's gonna feel good about that?
If I was doing that, hell no.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I've had a couple of meltdowns about the mask crap when it first started. Yeah, put a mask on. I'm outside, you fucking twat.
Yeah, but that's one thing. You're outside.
Right, but they're freaking sitting there telling me you gotta put a mask on before you go in the store. I'm outside.
Do I
But
have
yeah,
that?
I mean, there's plenty of times I freaking melted down. She just walked away like I don't know this dude. Oh, you know what the last one was? It was at fuck, where the hell were we? I, I forgot what store I was at. Target? Can't remember. Oh, anyways, we were at the self checkout thing. Go to see item not found. Item not found. Like fuck, god, self checkout. Shit. The lady comes over. Can I help you? I'm like, nah, screw this shit. I'm going to the freaking line. Freaking Angela just whoop. But dude, you know, the self checkout's a whole freaking.
Trying to replace issues. I know. Trying to
But
think.
yeah,
Oh,
in that, in that scenario, she took off. It's just.
usually in that kind of situation, I'll be like pissed off inside, and I'll be like, "Can somebody help me, please?" But you know what really got my ass? This is back when I was there, I know Wegmans days. It's one thing if a checkout person is doing their job, checking out, they're having a conversation on how the kids are. I get that. You're doing your job, converse, provide customer service. After you're done bagging and everything's in the cart, person's paid, transaction's complete, leave. They continue
Yeah.
the conversation 20 minutes afterwards. My
Oh
back
god,
is
they're still
blowing out.
talking. Blah, blah,
My
blah,
my
blah, blah.
my back is blowing out, and I'm writhing in pain. And I go, "Will you shut the fuck up and do your fucking job?" I'm in excruciating pain right now.
Oh
Check me
yeah,
out and
yeah.
get me the fuck out of here. Sometimes people need to be jarred like that. Listen, just say, listen, I'll call you. When is your shift over? I'll get done at 10. I'll call you at 10:30 when you get home.
Exactly.
Not a problem. I got no problem if it's 20 seconds to coordinate after, but 20 minutes.
Mm.
And
But yeah, the whole lead by example and motivation as a whole, the freaking whatchamacallit, how to ruin someone's motivation in 15 seconds. But yeah, I don't know. Me, I'm just keep my mouth shut. I'll show you. Definitely more of a lead by example type.
well, yeah, I am too to a point, but if I have to go it over and over again, right? If I have to repeat myself, what I do internally is I change my approach. Okay.
Right.
Something didn't get through. All right. Try it another way. Doesn't work. Try it another way. It doesn't work. Right. After a while, after I've
But how
exhausted,
many times?
my boiling point personally is 6 times. If I
Holy crap,
get
that's more than I can handle.
if I show you the thing 6 times in 6 different ways and it still doesn't stick, get the fuck out of here. It's that simple.
Bye-bye.
I've
Bye-bye.
given you chances. If you're not certain, ask me. I won't assume. I don't read minds. Ask me. Your performance your performance shows itself. That's all I need to see. I don't need to read your mind. If you're unsure, ask. It's the biggest thing. And I stress that in my relationship with my soon-to-be wife. I say to her, you have to communicate. I can't read your mind. I'm not guessing as to how you feel. It's dangerous.
Right.
It sets a very dangerous precedent. Okay. Because that's assuming. And I never want to assume. I've done that. It's dangerous. Okay. You got a
Right.
problem. Let's talk about it, figure it out, move forward. That's it.
Yeah, and it's funny because, she brought up the fact that she wants to do her own podcast. I'm like, okay, well, between Alex and I, or no, Alex and I took us what, 3.5 months almost to get started from we first November to, yeah, about 2 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling him, like, look, it took the two of us 3 months, and we didn't really do a lot. So you need to come up with a name, what you want to talk about, how long you want it to be, and before, after you get all that figured out, you need to get yourself comfortable talking in front of a camera to literally nobody because it's going to be recorded.
Yep. And eventually, when you're comfortable enough with that, you can do lives and everything and have people involved in real time. But you have to be quick on reading the chats and saying, hey, okay, responding to them. Because if you don't, then what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, if you got 30 people watching and talking, you're not going to be able to answer every single one of them.
No. I think most people
So,
realize
so I've been rattling my brain trying to figure out how to help.
I would say the first approach would be, and we've discussed this,
Oh, yeah.
is to get her even on a dry run, just a simulated show, just to get her used to that aspect of being on, seeing the graphics, seeing
Well,
us.
she did say when I came home from work tonight, she's like, oh, maybe you and I should do one together too. I'm like, okay. Again, we still have to come up with the who, what, where, when, and why.
And what's your target audience?
Right. It's like it's past, it's obviously not out of the realm, as you can see.
Oh, you know what you could do? A prank channel. Prank each other. That would be funny.
Oh, God, some of those are so corny, though.
Liquid ass in the CPAP?
But no, like I want to see if she can do it on her own.
I agree, right? It's
But I really want to see if she can push herself creatively and get her own, think of a name on her own and figure stuff out.
Get her own juices flowing. Yeah.
I'm trying to do that without interfering too much.
That's a good approach. But do you think that is she looking for guidance or is she looking for someone to do it for her and just do it? Like not put the effort in, but
I would say 75-25. Like wants to do it but needs help.
okay, that's good. That's good. It's encouraging.
Right.
I guess.
I mean, I've already got, if it's going to be serious, I've already obviously got this part of it figured out.
we got the technology, which is
Yeah.
It's the hardest part, but the easiest thing to once we get it going to do.
Well, that's what I told her too. I told her also. I said, look, the stuff you see other people doing, that's the easy part. What? I said, this is the easy part.
Yeah.
And we have, again, this is our fourth episode, and we still really haven't gotten to the real
Meat and potatoes.
the meat and potatoes of what we really gotta get done. We're still working on the intro video and the outro video and all the other stuff. We got a logo that still I think needs to be refined a little bit, but it's whatever.
Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah.
It's on the page now, so it's up there at least.
Yes. Which when I saw that, I go, that's perfect.
Yeah. But like I was telling her, I said, it's the crap you have to do off the camera. That's the hardest part.
Yep. What I would advise and suggest, and this is for everybody out there, set a month's worth of show ideas. Write them down. Draw a map.
Yep.
This so you can see it in front of you. Literally like a roadmap. Topic A, topic B, topic C. So one show a week. Topic D, you got 4. Next month, as topic C rolls around, you get a feeling for how the other topics went.
And the other advice I'll give too is if you're in the middle of a show and you have an idea, definitely don't be afraid to write it down somewhere because you'll forget it.
Oh, sure.
And there's another week's, there's another episode you could have, which we'll call, but you forgot.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So things happen in real time. And so, again, it all comes down to flexibility, adaptability, efficiency, and basically combating forgetfulness.
Yeah, because I still have, what we got here? 1, 2. I still got 4 topics that I have written down that we haven't even touched yet.
Mm-hmm. I know.
This is our 4th episode.
Yeah, because we do as nature, as we do, we go off on tangents sometimes, and that's just us.
Well, we go off on tangents, plus, the 4 I have written down, I want to save them for shit. I can't think of anything. Let's roll one off. That way it buys us time, for basically like 2 weeks. If by Wednesday comes, it's like, okay, I can't think of anything. Pulling one of those buys another week and a half.
Sure. Right. And
if we can go 4 weeks from then by thinking of other stuff to talk about.
Right.
That ends up being what? 4 months worth of
content.
Of filler, basically, but it's not filler.
But it's not. It's still topics that hit.
Oh yeah. It's not filler in that sense. It's filler, and we couldn't think of anything, or we had nothing on tap, so we're plugging in this weeks with this, and it buys us time to think of other stuff. But I don't see that being a problem.
Exactly. So.
That's what I've been trying to rack my brain around for her is how can I push her in the right direction without
frame of mind
doing it for her. Yeah.
Because if you don't get it like I was as a kid, spoon fed to you, how do you feel a sense of achievement and accomplishment?
Well, if I have to spoon feed the technical side of it,
that's one thing.
It's one thing. If I can find a way to push the creative juices, so she can have that sense of accomplishment. Okay, I got this, I got that, blah, 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 blah. Got the StreamYard. It's easy.
Yeah.
That's why I've been trying to rack my brain around the past 2.5, 3 weeks with her.
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta help me with that. I want to do it. I'm like, it's not that I'm not helping. I'm processing. I'm thinking.
Trying to get the best approach for you to make it as easy for you to
get
you to think for yourself. I say, in the meantime, while I'm working on that, you have to do your part and come up with ideas, titles, things that we can put this whole thing together really quickly and get it going.
Well, I think one she wrote down like 8 or 9 different things, and I'm sitting there looking at it like crossing this word off, crossing that word off. I don't know where the paper is, but it was something along the lines of amazing mom, sharing and caring, or something like that. And each word was like, was one word from one title that ended up, and it was each word was from a different thing that she had written down. And like, look, what do you think of this? Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, think of some more stuff then.
Right. I have an idea that I'm going to discuss off show because I don't want to divulge any information. But I have an idea that I think might, just hearing that, rang a bell with me. But again, we'll discuss after. So.
Oh yeah.
But you have to, again, I guess the approach is going to be the first thing I would tell you to tell her in the creative process. So you got to figure out your audience first. Then comes the name, and then comes the rest of the stuff. Because you can build up show topics based on the name of your show. What are you looking to target? Once you do that, that'll come a little bit easier because then you can start building your map.
Right. But I think, if she's going to do this, I definitely think the best thing for her time-wise would be like a half hour.
Yes.
But eventually, maybe she gets comfortable and pushes it to an hour. Who knows? But
that's entirely up to her. I mean,
yeah. But I told her too. I said you're gonna have to get used to talking to a camera. I said if you want to do that, stay up one night with us, or one of the days the kids are in school, we'll record a show with the 3 of us.
Just the 3 of us.
Like, I don't know. So you're going to have to get comfortable talking in front of a camera, and if you're going to get used to it, you may as well do it with,
yeah,
do
we
it
can,
with us.
We can guide her. It'll be a dry run, and if it's good enough, we'll put it on. If she doesn't feel comfortable with it, we can do another one, build up her confidence. I'm perfectly cool with that. Whatever I can do to help inspire her,
oh yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah. So, well, that's about it. That for now with her, anyway. So maybe a few months before everything starts with that.
But the thing is are we going to have to do the basic shift, or we're just going to have to get in there and start moving?
I don't know. I'm going to get in there and start moving everything around.
Okay, so we bypass the basic shift.
Yeah, you got to skip the basic shift.
Yeah.
You got to get in there and move everything around.
That movie. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yes, it was.
My best friend has tits. What if my balls don't itch? All balls itch.
Felt like the right time. Certainly the right place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I think pretty close to getting to the end of the show here.
Yeah, I think we're about to wrap it up. We're getting close to what, an hour? Almost 2 hours.
Almost 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, where can the people find me on True Social?
ABOS12?
Yep, at ABOS12 on
At
True
ABOS12.
Yep. So wonderful community. I mean, I showed you my list of followers. I got more than 10 times the amount that I do on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Great. Yeah, it's great. It's still a work in progress, but it's opening up. and to be able to have a freedom of speech without censorship and all that stuff, and be able just to speak your mind at random, whatever thought comes to your head, and not worry about backlash. It's great. I mean, that's why we chose Rumble over YouTube, because YouTube will censor your ass to
They'll
oblivion.
eventually censor us. Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the real nitty gritty stuff.
Oh, we'll get there. I'm
Definitely in time.
I'm kind of itching for that too.
It'll
I'm
come.
itching,
Not now.
but we'll get there. And I promise we'll make it taste good.
If you have asparagus, it'll taste really good.
Jeez.
But yeah, hopefully I can figure a way out to get her juices flowing, and
Well, again,
she's
I
got the
think
spark. I just gotta
you gotta
give it a push in the right direction.
give it a little bit of fuel and oxygen, right?
Oh yeah.
So the best thing I would have you do, sit down with her and ask her a couple very poignant questions to make her think is, what does she feel like? What does she want the show to be? And who does she want to talk to?
Right.
Okay. Which means, what does she want the show to be about, and who's her target audience, right? But that's how you can say it there. What do you visualize the show being? What do you feel in your heart? And then who do you want to share your heart with at the start?
Right.
Once you do those two things, then comes the name, and then comes show topics based on that. It'll be easy then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know when we did our show, Two Brothers from Two Mothers, we are family.
Damn straight.
Two separate parents, whatever, but we're family. And so I'm thinking, we could just share our lives with everybody. So our target audience was anybody who's want to watch. But if she wants to focus on a specific area, she needs to gear the title, the theme,
right,
towards that specific area of, let's just say, she wants to talk to mothers. Well, okay. Is she looking to also gain maybe more knowledge from other mothers? And, there's a lot of questions.
I would guess yes.
Okay. So she can maybe have Q&As, question and answers.
Yeah.
Everybody can post questions with one another and share answers and viewpoints on things and things like that, and have an interactive community.
Yep.
So those are the things that she has to think about. You can facilitate that by asking questions, but she needs to think about it and come up with the idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of time, but
yeah,
slow and steady definitely win this race, because rushing through it is not going to work.
Nope.
But I think that's about it for tonight.
All right. With that, we will see you again next week. And as always, hug your kids, love your spouse, be the best person you can be every day, no matter what trials and tribulations you face. Start the day with a smile, end it with a smile. Whatever happens in the middle of that sandwich, forget about it. Okay? I know times are tough. I know I'm simplifying things. I get that. But you know what? As long as you have a roof over your head, food in your mouth, no matter what your circumstances are, kids are happy, who the fuck cares about what's going on around? Be the best representative of yourself and your families. Love one another, embrace one another, put everything else to the side. And for the love of God, please watching that shithole we call the news. And focus on yourselves.
Turn the
focus
TV
on
off.
your neighbor.
Not turn the TV off, turn that crap off.
Give your neighbor a hug. How you doing this morning? How you doing today? What do you need? You need to come together, all of us. If Kevin and I can come together, even from 2,000 miles away, 3,000 miles away, and come together and make this show, like we're in the same room, Thank
Don't
God
tell us it can't be
technology.
done.
Thank God the technology for that. But why can't you hug a neighbor and say, hey, what help do you need? That's what we do, right? Neighbor has a problem. If I can help him, I'll help him.
Yep.
Don't even think twice. I don't want money for it. Just want to help somebody out.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
You know, it's just always been my nature. But anyway, listen, guys, love one another, care for each other, and we will see you next week. Same time, same flatulent channel.
Not as flatulent as last week, though.
No, but hey.
Please comment, like, subscribe to the video, the show. Find us on Facebook at Two Brothers from Two Mothers. Join the group. Share the video. Leave comments. Email us at twobrotherspod@gmail.com.
Or if you're on True Social, please reach out to me at ABOS12. Be more than happy to participate with you. And, get Kevin on there once the ramps itself up, and we'll make a community there.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that.
All right, everyone. Have a wonderful night, wonderful week. We'll see you back next week. And love one another. Send lots of love. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you next week.
All right, bud.
All right. See you later.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.